I've never been a firm believer in spiritual energy or healing through nature. Hell, I've even always questioned the religion I was raised on because I never really identified with it. I've always felt like there was a greater power out there somewhere, but I've never actually felt it. And a feeling like that isn't something you can anticipate. It's not something you can prepare yourself for. And it's nothing like anything you've ever felt. And it's funny actually, because it's the moments in between where you least expect it is when you feel something. A vortex. You've probably heard the name. It's a place where people go to recharge and to heal. A place of powerful spiritual energy. Now that by itself does sound skeptical, especially if you've never had a chance to explore a place like that. Some supposed vortexes that have been explored are located at the Great Pyramids of Egypt, Machu Picchu in Peru, Stonehenge in the UK, and Ayers Rock in Australia. There are a few more, but those are the most well-known ones. I haven't had the pleasure to visit any of these incredible places, but I did get to become acquainted with one a little closer to home. Sedona is the most well-known vortex location in the United States, located in the American Southwest in northern Arizona. You know you're in Sedona when you're greeted with the red rock Goliaths that are scattered all across this beautiful landscape. People come here to meditate and to heal themselves of past scars and ill memories. Apart from the cornerstone colossal rocks that Sedona inhabits, it is also home to beautiful, unimpressed sights of nature. I set out to come to Sedona and gather all the information that I could about these vortexes. Before I arrived, I had a plan to interview 3 locals who claimed to have experience with them. Within 3 days of coming to Sedona, 2 of the 3 people canceled due to complications with the ongoing pandemic. And to make matters worse, the day I arrived and was ready to interview my last surviving source of information, they too decided to cancel. And as I got off the phone with the last scheduled interviewee who had just finished explaining to me they did not want to participate, through the front door of the Airbnb comes the owner, Ambaya.
So my name is Ambaya, and I've been in Sedona for about 20 years, and I love it. And apparently it loves me because it hasn't let me go. Well, a vortex is basically something that kind of carries energy and draws you in. And the Sedona area was highly respected by the Native American Indians, and they used to come here for ceremony, only for ceremony. They were not allowed to live here. I think that throughout the years that people have been coming to Sedona for spiritual quest, they bring in a very particular beautiful energy. They really are aspiring to their highest spiritual attainment. And so I think that that energy is anchored by the rocks in Sedona. Sedona is said to have a lot of crystals underneath, and it's also very much iron and ore. So the iron and ore hold the energy and actually can broadcast it, as well as the crystals underneath harnessing the energy. And as many people come here, I think that spiritual energy gathers. And when people are here, if they are open, they can resonate with it. And especially if they're really healthy. Now, one thing about the Sedona Vortexes, it is said, and I have witnessed it in my many years of being here, some people would love to be here, but 2, 3, 4 days later, they just encounter so many problems that they don't stay and they leave. And then there's other people like me that I could have gone other places, but no, I haven't. I haven't had the desire. And for me, there have been so many synchronicities of things that happened here in Sedona that just evolved to the next stage, either easily or with difficulty, but the difficulty transforms into something beautiful very quickly. And the vortexes carry a very, very strong energy. It really broadcasts whatever you bring inside. So it magnifies it. So if you come in full of anger or full of resentment or whatever, you may even feel more of that. If you come full of joy and gratitude and happiness and expect this amazing beauty to bless you, that's what you will experience in a magnified way. Because as you can see, everything is just exquisitely exaggerated in the sense of colors and vibrancy, and just the natural beauty and the sky that changes daily is an inspiration. It brings forth a lot of gratitude. And there have been several books written about the ley lines that people have measured, how some of the vortexes here are stronger than others. And I know one of them is right in my backyard. And people have gotten experiences that sometimes we can't believe. There was a man that came to the place that would do ceremonies for a group of people. And I remember one time this man actually brought a man that was blind. When he got out of there, the man could start to see. And that was extraordinary. Like, none of us would expect that. So was it the vortex? Was it the man's belief? Was it the ritual? I don't know. But I know that the ley lands of this land carry very, very strong energy. And you can feel it. Because everything is just an expansion of us. There's only I in the many forms. And so whatever you're bringing, if something is actually very powerfully energetically, it's only going to expand it. And that holds true for just about anything.
One of the most prominent exhibits of the power of Sedona is the effect that it has on the local juniper trees. These trees grow all over Sedona and can be found at the base of most of the rock formations. Bell Rock is where I found the most extraordinary exhibits of power that these vortexes have, and how it not only affects humans, but the nature surrounding them. These trees normally grow straight upwards, and the branches, well, they branch out from one another, as they should. However, some of these junipers twist their branches around one another, creating the most surreal formations. The closer you get to the base of the rock, the more the branches twist and twist and twist. The energy is so strong that in the process of twisting, these trees break themselves because they're not meant to bend and grow the way that these vortexes force them to. It's truly incredible to see the evidence in person, and I was honestly surprised to find these twisted junipers.
What happened to me in, I think it was about September or October of 2020, was such a mind-boggling moment looking back on, and it's a memory that I won't ever forget. Now, I had come to Sedona this time to shoot a nature project for one of my classes, and now I had asked around and I also looked online for resources, and every place said that the best view of the sunset was at this hiking trail called Cathedral Rock. in about the dead middle of Sedona. It's also near one of the vortex points. So I got water, I got all my stuff, and I ascended this rock, this trail, and about 3/4 of the way up, and I'm sitting there just gasping for air. And at that moment, a guy comes up behind me, and he sees me on the ground, and he says, "Are you going to the top?" And gasping like a total buffoon, I look up at him, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm really trying, man. It's rough. I got all this gear, and it's pretty heavy." He's like, "Well, you're almost there. Why stop now? Keep going." Like very lightly and quickly, and I was just like, "Okay, let's go." So I got all my stuff. I got up, put my empty water bottle away, and I followed this guy up. And right after I had looked up, it was like magic. My pain in my body had just evaporated, just gone without a trace, and I had felt so good. My breathing was fine. All that was on my mind was getting to the top of this damn rock. And I'm going and I'm going and I'm going and I'm focusing on my breathing, and all of a sudden I see light on the ground. There's no more shadow. I see orange light, and I look up and I made it. And right then and there, the pain came back. It just hit me like a bus. But I felt good. I felt so just empowering. I don't know how else to describe it. It just felt so good. It was crazy, and I was like, it felt supernatural in that moment. It was something else. And as somebody who is very skeptical about things and just doesn't believe everything, that level of joy and just overwhelming pleasure, like just by doing a hike, like it's crazy. I never thought that you could feel something like that from something like that. Like, thinking about it now, if you take the vortexes out of the equation, it doesn't make sense. But with the vortexes implemented into the story, it can be life-changing. It definitely was for me.
Sedona is somewhere that everybody should have the chance to experience at least once in their life. The feelings, the memories, and the experiences you can gain from just one visit are priceless and can have an incredible impact. For me, it changed the way I live. It helped me re-realize how much I love what I do with storytelling. To put simply, it put me back on track. Even after everything, if you're still skeptical about the power of this place, what do you have to lose from one visit? In other words, what are you waiting for?